Once Upon a Mama. I'm your host, Molly Ann Luna. Each week we call my mom, the original mom, Barb Ripley, to talk about ways of navigating motherhood at different ages and different stages. Because after all, once a mama, always a mama. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Molly.
I'm so excited. This is our first podcast ever. Thanks for agreeing to do this with me.
Sure. I love spending time with you.
I know. I think this is going to be super great because it's going to be an opportunity for us to spend time together. Also, maybe work through any potential mommy issues. No, wait, we don't have any of those. That doesn't exist, right? People just make that up. No, but seriously, this is super exciting because I'm a new mommy and you're my mommy. Mm-hmm. And it's really been super fun. Hannah's almost 16 months. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Almost 16 months. And it's been really great navigating motherhood and then having you right there to help and I say right there, but you are in the Midwest and I'm in Los Angeles. So you're not super right there, but
we have technology. Thank goodness.
I love technology.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Cool. So how shall we introduce you? Besides being my most amazing, fantastic, beautiful mother.
Well, my name is Barb Ripley, and I do live in the Midwest. I live in a little town in Iowa. I have 3 beautiful daughters, and I have 4 beautiful grandchildren. And I'm a new flight attendant that I really enjoy.
Yeah. Wait, how long have you been doing this now?
2 years in February.
Wow, 2 years. Yeah. So before taking on this role as number 1 stewardess of the air,
definitely.
You did home daycare and you also worked in the school districts. So you've been at this mothering thing, super mama thing for how long now? 30 some years.
Well, 31 years. And if you count each kid, you kind of triple it. So yeah, I've raised a lot of kids.
You have raised a lot of kids from newborn to beyond.
Yeah, I'm still trying to raise kids.
That's right. So I'm the oldest of 3 daughters and 2 stepsons, and I'm going to be 32 next month.
Oh, that makes me old.
I know. Didn't you think you'd be done momming it up by now?
I guess I did think that, but then my mom taught me differently. She's like, oh, wait a minute. But yeah, I went to Mall of America the other day, and when we went there last was for my 30th birthday. Whoa. And you are now older than I was when we went there for my 30th birthday.
Well, and I have to back up a smidge because you said you are old, and you are absolutely not old. You're very young, hot grandma. But oh my gosh, wow, it feels like yesterday. Doesn't time just fly?
Yeah, it had been 21 years since I'd stepped foot into that area that we had taken you when you were little. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. And for us, that was a big deal back then because, well, you didn't live much further away, but still growing up in small town, Midwest, quite literally in the middle of nowhere. And then to take such a big trip to the city. And I think about that sort of thing quite a lot because now I'm in Los Angeles and it's like, whoa, night and day.
Yeah, definitely. It's the traffic we were in the other day at your house. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. The one good thing about your job is I love that you get to just pop in and we get to have a good time together and you get to see babes and you get to pop in and pop out. It's super fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope to do some more of that in December. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
We'll see what pops in there.
And then we could do our show in real time and space. No, in the same. Well, this is time and space, but in the same time and space. Amazing. Okay, so let's talk about a bit why we're here. What's our intention with this show?
Well, I think that we're here to help moms navigate through all different levels and all different stages of motherhood. You're a new mother. I've been a mother for quite a while, and I'm still learning. And I was making cookies today, and I was thinking about how much I'm still learning from you three girls and the boys too. But you don't just stop being a mother when your kids are 18. That's not how it works. And so I am stumbling through motherhood even 30 years later. So I think I'm here to inform others, get information from others, and see how other people are dealing with adult children and dealing with being a grandma and how not to spoil them too much. And then there's you, a new mom.
Yeah, I like how you say dealing with, like, dun, dun, all of a sudden my little girl self is like, oh, I'm going to get in trouble.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
And for me, I mean, obviously we stated the first, it's just going to be such a fun and great way to stay connected, even though we're long distance from one another, because we're continuously learning and growing. I personally believe that each relationship, whether it's mother and daughter or otherwise, is always an opportunity for each person to be the teacher and the student. Right. And for me, before stepping into motherhood, it was really important for me to wrap my mind around that, because otherwise entering into motherhood would have been super daunting if I had to just take on the mindset that I must have all of the answers. I have to be the sole teacher to my little one. And so I really want to help empower and inspire and educate other mommies that they don't have to do it alone, and that they're learning just as much as their baby is learning, and to give themselves grace, and also to allow themselves to navigate motherhood, but also build their dreams, whatever it is, to just go after their dreams as well. Right. I know growing up and watching you were about the kids, very much about us, and you did an amazing job raising us and the hundreds of other little ones, and then after the season of us moving up and out of the house, it kind of felt like, from my end, like, well, what's next?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. And I just read an article the other day about kids and how parents put their kids first. Who's the most important person in your family? And these people were answering our kids. And so the author was asking them, well, why the kids? And went back to, like, when I was a child, the parents spent more time together. They focused more on themselves, and the kids were there because of the parents. And the way that the author put it was so interesting to me, that now the parents only seem to exist because of the children, because of their activities and their goals for their children. And I think that's a lot of problem with our kids feeling entitled these days, and also the parents not putting enough into their relationship. And what you and I have talked before about being a mama, you kind of forget who you are. So that article was interesting because you forget maybe who you are as a couple, but you also have to remember who Molly is and who Barb is. Or in my case, I'm 51. I'm trying to find out who I am, So I think that's another thing that we really want to touch on, is find out who you are. You don't have to know right away who you are, but find yourself and love yourself and appreciate you are who you are. Mm-hmm. And you're going to make mistakes, but it's okay to make mistakes. And that was one of the things that you and I talk about quite often. Just, So again, we want to emphasize on being a mother, a loving mother to children. But we also want to emphasize on being ourselves and keeping ourselves happy. I have a thing in my kitchen that says, be someone that makes you happy. And I think it's it's very strong and powerful. And sometimes when I get down, I look at that and I think, yeah, you have to make you happy, and then you can make others happy.
Yes, absolutely. You do have to make yourself happy first and foremost, because then when I call it filling my cup. If I can fill up my cup and feel love for myself and joy and feel restful and peaceful, then my cup will runneth over, and I will be a more well-rested, loving, centered mommy and wife to my husband. Mm-hmm. And I really appreciate that you sharing that article with me, because, my husband, Javon, and I, we've been together nearly 10 years before baby girl into this. Isn't that insane? Like
it is
nearly a decade we've been together, and we knew that we wanted to have quite a long time of really getting to know one another and strengthening our marriage, because we're both prior military. And so there was a very turbulent time in the beginning, lots of things we had to deal with war and separation and coming home and whatnot. So we knew we really wanted to solidify our marriage before bringing in a beautiful third party named Miss Ahana Eliana. However, I would say that I could see how it's easy to fall into that pitfall of mindset of, well, the kids come first, because right now we are doing it alone, the two of us. We have not yet hired a nanny. You know, your grandma, you're in the Midwest, we're in Los Angeles, and it's tag team, you're in and out. Go build your dreams, my turn. I'll jump in and take babes, your turn. And I don't want to lose sight of, we need to be able to press pause and step away and reconnect with the two of us and make sure that we stay that strong team so that we can be the best parents and be the best individuals and be our best selves moving forward. So finding that balance is a season that I'm in as well. And I especially is important to me because, you know, you and Dad divorced and you guys had quite a tumultuous relationship. And I know that you guys were working hard, and you might have gotten into that of like just tag teaming it, getting through it, because raising kids is tough stuff.
Yeah, I think I thought this before, like if you put most of your energy into each other, which this article, you know, kind of talks about, I think almost any marriage could probably work. But I was busy putting my energy into you girls, and he put his energy into work, and we didn't make time for each other, you know, and that's really sad. And so now in my second marriage, happily married, been together 16, married 13 and a half. I make time, you know, I make the time for him. I also like to make my time for my children and my grandchildren, but my time with him is so precious because you just never know. And I learned from my last marriage, you have to put your spouse first sometimes. And sometimes that might not always sit well with, other family members, but you have to put your spouse first, and then you'll be happy and your spouse will be happy and your family will be happy.
That's such a great point. I want to say that I want to hear what the listener has to say about this. Are you putting yourself and your relationship first, or are you in that habit of putting the kiddos first, and why? So I want you guys to put a comment in the link below, because we want this to be a multi-way conversation. Your voice matters. We're here for you mamas. And so we want to hear from you. So make sure you leave us a comment either here on iTunes or over at mindfulmamas.tv, and use that hashtag mindfulmamas, because we want to know where you're at with that and what was your biggest takeaway? Because I think it's an important topic.
Yeah. And we're going to be able to learn from our listeners, and everybody will share and everybody will learn. I think it'll be fantastic.
Absolutely. This is a community to love, grow, support, and share with one another. So yay, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Okay, so let's call that a wrap for our first episode, and we'll see you guys next week for episode 2.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, Mom. Love you.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Be sure to head to mindfulmamas.tv to join the conversation. Also, join the Mindful Mamas community, a place for love-centered mamas to connect and share and grow, helping one another create happier, healthier, and wealthier lives for themselves and their little ones.